Hey guys, we're back for another video. Thank you guys for coming on back. I see y'all looking at the thing. Okay, so let's get into the videos. All right, let's get to the videos. Everything said in the video is a legend, in my opinion, and is used for fair use and entertainment. Okay, let's get into it, honey. Let's get into it. Y'all pardon me for not being on camera, okay? I'm feeling real lazy today. I'm just trying to get my videos out. Oh my God. All right, so let's get into, hold on. All right, so as you guys know, I told you guys in my video prior to this one, there was a prank that went out on Shedeur Sanders where someone called him up to make it seem like he was getting signed or getting picked in the draft, and that was not the case. So some guys from, it sounds like they were from the Falcons, because they're offering an apology to him. So let's get into it. Says that Atlanta Falcons released a statement after defensive coordinator's son apologizes for prank call to Shedeur Sanders. I don't know why I want to rename him. Y'all know I'll tear up a name in a minute. All right, so Shedeur Sanders. So it says, on Friday night, I made a tremendous mistake. Says that Shadeur, what I did was completely inexcusable, embarrassing, and shameful. Says that I'm so sorry that I took away your moment. It was selfish and childish. He goes on to say that I could never imagine getting ready to celebrate one of the greatest moments of your life, and I made a terrible mistake and messed with that moment. Says that thank you for accepting my call earlier. I hope that you can find it in your heart to forgive me at Shedeur Sanders. All right, so that is what the college student had to say to Shadeur, but he didn't look like he was sorry when he did it. I feel like his father may have gotten to him and said, hey, apologize and apologize now, because this doesn't look good. All right, so you got, here's the prank that happened.
Hey, is this Shedeur? Hey, this is Mickey Loomis here, the GM of the New Orleans Saints. How you doing? This is Mickey Loomis here, GM of the Saints.
How you doing?
Good. How are you, man?
Good. Been waiting on you.
Yeah, we have. It's been a long wait, man. We're gonna take you with our next pick right here, man.
This ain't gonna be nothing to you.
Hey, but you're gonna have to wait a little bit longer, man. Sorry about that.
Okay.
So as you guys can see, they were playing with him. They were picking at him. So they called him. Everybody's trying to figure out too how they got his personal number, because even Shadeur was saying, how did this person get my number? You know, when they found out it was a prank, he was saying, how did they get my number? So that was weird for him to call him and be on that type of disrespectful mess. But he has since issued an apology, and I feel like he was made to do that versus doing it on his own, because they laughed about it and they thought that it was funny when they did it. So I guess thank you for the apology. Do I feel like it was heartfelt? I do not. Okay. All right, so let's continue. Let's continue. All right, so right, they be doing the most, man. Jeez. The most. All right, so Shiloh Sanders, as you guys know, was picked by the Bucs. Okay, he was signed by the Buccaneers, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Okay, he fires his dad Deion Sanders as his agent and signs with Drew Rosenhaus before being signed to Tampa Bay Buccaneers in an undrafted free agent deal. You guys, so he has fired his dad. What y'all think about that? I wonder what Deion thinks about that as well. I said before he signed to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in an undrafted free agent deal, that Shiloh Sanders, who is 25, fired his father Deion Sanders as his agent and signed with powerhouse Drew Rosenhaus. Says that as we previously shared yesterday, Shiloh Sanders has signed a UDFA undrafted free agent deal with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It said that Shiloh celebrated the news with his father Deion Sanders, brother Shedeur Sanders, who is 23, and more while live streaming. Says that during the Twitch live stream on day 3 of the NFL draft, said that we learned that Shiloh had another announcement. Goes on to say that he shared that that he had a new agent. However, he hadn't yet mentioned their name. Says that we now know that it's Powerhouse Sports agent Drew Rosenhaus, who owns Rosenhaus Sports Representation and has worked with a slew of NFL players, including Miami Dolphins, Tyreek Hill. It says that according to the Pro Football Network, after seeing all of the drama that his brother Shedeur Sanders went through with the 2025 NFL draft, that Shiloh opted to drop his father Dieon, aka Coach Prime, as his agent and signed with Powerhouse Rosenhaus before the draft ended. It said that Shiloh's brother Shedeur was pushed to the 5th round before being drafted by the Cleveland Browns as an overall 144th pick. Okay, so y'all see that. Y'all see that, and y'all see that. So he's picked someone else and had to fire his dad. He had to cut communication in order for him to shine. So it says, welcome to the family. As you guys can see, Drew Rosenhaus sent a message to Shiloh Sanders saying, welcome to the family, Shiloh Sanders. Okay, y'all see that? All right, so y'all see that? Yeah. All right, so y'all see there. They got to cut the music. So Deion Sanders' son, Shiloh Sanders, signs with Tampa Bay Buccaneers as undrafted free agent. All right, so he's vibing out with his dad. I think Deion, being a former NFLer, I think he understands why his son had to make that decision, because sometimes you can kind of hurt yourself by association. Not that he doesn't love his dad, but it's a business decision, okay? And he's doing what he feels is best for him in terms of the business. All right. So you guys can see Shiloh Sanders is signed. He is signed as a free agent. All right. Yes, Shiloh and Shadeur, they're dancing. Okay. As Shadeur got drafted as well. So you guys can see they're all celebrating together. We're just going through these, and I'm going pretty quickly because we're not going to stay on this too long. All right. So that's it, and that's all on that. All right. Yeah. Shout out to them for that. Now there's some drama that's surrounding this whole Sanders family. Let's get into that. All right. Well, it seems like Shedeur Sanders is dating a much older woman, and that was brought to the attention of someone who decided to call her out and read her down. All right. Now, London on the Track, he is a producer, and his baby mama, Ebony Ivory, calls out Shinsia, who was there to support Shedeur Sanders whenever he was drafted on draft day, and later calls her out for being, I guess, what they call it, a cougar. Okay. All right. So this is her sitting here. Okay. Saying, girl, you too young to be with this young boy. And she said she's about to call DFS, call Child Protective Services on this particular woman for trying to date Shedeur, which Shedeur is grown. Shedeur is 23 years old, and Sashina is 28 years old. Okay, but she was spotted with Shedeur's, or supporting Shedeur Sanders, who is 23 years old, on NFL draft day. But the moment has since been called out. But London on the Track's baby mama, Ebony Ivory, who previously accused Shanshina's son of inappropriately touching her daughter. Okay, so let's get into this. This is some mess. All right, so Ebony Ivory says to Sashina, says that so Parrot Big Face and her son both like to mess with little kids. Said that somebody called DFCS and saved Shedeur. Somebody, and she goes on to say that the old hag, long nose having witch, should have gone for the daddy. Says that now I'm seeing where the son got it from. She goes on to say that Shanshina wants to be Michael Jackson so bad with that long nose and those little kids. Child. All right, so Ebony Ivory wasn't done. She said that I'm going to call DFCS on Shanshina in the morning. Save the children. Hashtag saving Shedeur. Said that call Bill Cosby or somebody. She goes on to say that I'm disgusted at these old long-nosed hags messing with kids. She said that Shanshina needs to go for somebody her own age, like LL Cool J or R. Kelly or something, okay? Child, she says Shanshina is a predator, and taught Lil Chester to be one, and said that no, I'm not letting it go. So she's calling her out, and she is letting the entire world know how she feels about that. All right, so she goes on. Ebony Ivory goes on to say, protect the kids. Hashtag saving. Deion Sanders smiled after both of his sons, Shedeur Sanders and Shiloh Sanders, have made it into the NFL. All right, so she goes on to put up their age, says that Shinsia is 28 years old and Shedeur Sanders is 23 years old. Okay, she is kind of older than him, but I mean, they are grown. So as you guys can see, Shinsia and London on the Track's child mother continued beef after singer's diss track. Says that tell the baby mother, says that me Willie go jail for my son. All right, said that just a few months ago, the Shinsia and London on the Track's child mother, Ebony Ivory, were caught up in some online drama that stemmed from allegations of the singer's son inappropriately touching London and Ebony's daughter. It says that Ebony, who has been feuding with her producer ex for some time, alleged back in November of 2022 that Shinshina allowed her son to act inappropriately with her and London's daughter. Okay, so she's calling it out, and she's calling out Shinsia, who is said to be dating Shedeur Sanders, which is Deion Sanders' son. All right, who just got drafted in the NFL. So y'all can put in there what y'all think about that, child. That's a whole hot ass mess, child. Woo, what y'all think about that? Child, it's the names for me. Somebody say I smell a hater. Schoolboy said I smell a hater. Child, she went in on her. Okay, I was like, yo, that's a mess, yo. That is a mess. Let's continue. Thank y'all for being here. Let's get on, child, to the next topic, honey. All right, Stephen Smith, y'all know who he is, child. Very controversial. You know, he gonna always speak his mind, child. He just got into it. He just got into it with LeBron James, child. Well, LeBron was about to put the paws upon him, but he did take some time to speak out on this whole Stephen Smith, on this whole Shedeur getting picked for the NFL draft pick, and he also compares him to Colin Kaepernick. So let's get into what he's saying. Now, I agree with most of what he is saying, and I hate to say that because he gets on my nerves, but he's always loud sometimes and annoying, but in this instance, he is absolutely right. So let's go ahead and hear what he had to say. Shout out to Hollywood Unlocked.
This is some bullshit. And I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to say that while in the same breath conceding and acknowledging that Shedeur Sanders is not blameless here. Primetime Deion Sanders is not blameless here. I'm going to say what I have to say, knowing that both of them have their hands at least a little bit dirty in all of this. But if you're the National Football League, okay, clearly it's not about talent anymore. It's about something else. And I'm going to tell you, I spent a large amount of the last 24 hours thinking about nothing more than I was thinking about collusion. Because how in the hell does 32 teams in the National Football League pass on a quarterback that was universally recognized one of the top 3 quarterbacks in the country entering this draft, and 32 teams passed on them, not once, not twice, not 3 times, but 4 different times they passed on them? How the hell does that happen? 4 rounds. It doesn't happen to a quarterback. We've never seen anything like this before. We've seen guys drop because of injuries. We've seen guys drop because of off-field issues, but we've never seen a quarterback projected to be a top 20 pick, universally recognized one of the top 3 quarterbacks in the draft, projected to be a first rounder, in all likelihood a safe bet of a late first rounder, and drop literally to the 5th round. We haven't seen anything like that. And when you're talking about the owners, I'm going to keep in mind, and I tweeted about this, seems very Kaepernick-like, as in Colin Kaepernick. Now, I've said on many occasions the man brought it on himself, because once he was exiled from the sport because of taking a knee during the national anthem and you just irritating all the quote-unquote patriots out there as American citizens, I said, you know something? He didn't violate any bylaws. He didn't violate any laws. He didn't interfere with what transpired. Once kickoff time arrived, people are tripping. But still in all, he had an opportunity to get back in the NFL. All he had to do was show up to that workout that the league had organized at the Atlanta Falcons practice facility, but he didn't show up to that. And as a result, 2 hours beforehand, had everybody trying to come to a high school football field 120 minutes away, 2 hours away. So guess what? You did that to yourself. That was not Shedeur Sanders. Shedeur Sanders with the watch. Shedeur Sanders with his bravado. Shedeur Sanders with this supposed arrogance or whatever. He still balled. He still threw for over 4,100 yards, still threw for 37 touchdowns, still threw for just 10 interceptions, still proved himself to be one of the better quarterbacks in football. Tremendous pause, pocket presence, accuracy, throwing the damn football. Didn't have great wheels, doesn't have great athleticism, but the brother can play.
Period.
I certainly never heard of no damn Dylan Gabriel or Tyler Shock. What the hell is that? I didn't hear about them. So how is Shedeur Sanders going behind them? I'll tell you how. It's collusion. And why do I bring up Kaepernick? Because I keep reminding everybody that the owners, I'll never forget this as long as I live. The owners in the National Football League are very big on control. And Colin Kaepernick's position really railed them. It really riled them up, irritated them, because even though they received a check for over $246 million a piece because of their TV rights deal, they were mad it wasn't 250 to 255. They blamed Colin Kaepernick. They said he compromised their bottom line. That's what they said. They got a check for $246 million a piece and was still complaining about the $5 million they missed out on because of him. Mm-hmm. In their estimation, no proof of that, just speculating that was Colin Kaepernick. So if these are who they are, if these are the kind of people that they are, this is where Deion Sanders' hands get a little bit dirty. Because we know he's the greatest cornerback that ever lived. We know he's arguably the greatest athlete we've ever seen. We know that the man is a football savant. We also know that he's box office. The camera, the lens, it gravitates to him. He has that kind of magnetic effect. And because he let you know that he believed in his son, because he let you know what his son could do, because he let you know that he damn sure was going to keep an eye on things and he was going to have a voice in the proceedings, because he alluded to, if I don't like where my son is, that's not where we're going and stuff like that. It's entirely plausible that the owners were like, who the hell do you think he is? You don't run this shop, we do. Because these owners are like that. But ultimately, we got to get to Shedeur Sanders himself. Because I spoke to some executives, giving me some background, because they didn't like some of the things that they were seeing. And when they talked about it, they said stuff like him sending out tweets tagged with hashtag legendary. They talked about him appearing to have more of an interest in his own brand, and that he thinks about that more than he thinks about the team or the league. They talked about if he was more buttoned up and all about ball and team as opposed to himself, he would have fallen no later than number 21 in the draft to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Instead, he fell to 144, and they call it a minimum of a $30 million mistake.
Period.
That's what they said. They also pointed out how it was the perfect year to come out in the quarterback class because it's the lightest, weakest quarterback class in a long time. So a late 1 pick could easily turn into a top 10 because of position and need. But that didn't happen with him because of his bravado, his brand, his swagger, etc. Now you have people talking about how he possibly should just sue the NCAA to get his eligibility back, possibly pay Ryan Day or somebody so he could throw the ball to Smith for 1 year and then re-enter the NFL draft, rather. I don't know what the possibilities or likelihood of that happening, but basically between primetime Deion Sanders' natural bravado, coupled with that of his son, they say that the whole interview process wasn't that impressive when he showed up at the NFL scouting combine and refused to work out. That hurt him. The interview process while he was there hurt him, et cetera, et cetera. You know what, y'all? I get it. It makes perfect damn sense if he's drafted in the second round. It's the fact that he fell to 5th that's alarming.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So in other words, you're willing to collectively send that kind of message, and don't act like it wasn't a collective effort. For all we know, teams collectively, meaning owners, had come to the conclusion nobody's going to touch them in the first 4 rounds. All right, now that the round 5 is here, our message has been sent, so y'all could go about the business of sort of lifting the embargo, for lack of a better phraseology. I don't know what the hell happened. All I know is this: it's freaking unfair. Mm-hmm. It ain't right. I understand that Shedeur Sanders is a kid and may have some things to learn. I understand that you have to move a little bit with a little bit more discretion, that you don't want to stick out your chest and bloviate about who you are, who your daddy is, and et cetera, et cetera. I get that part. I understand that. But the kid doesn't get in any trouble. He can ball, and he's healthy. Mm-hmm. And there were numerous teams from Cleveland to New York, to New Orleans, to Pittsburgh, to LA, and various other places who needed quarterbacks. And you're going to tell me you don't take this kid until the 5th round? You're going to tell me that you're going to take a Dylan Gabriel and a Tyler Shook before him? You're going to tell me that? But we want to pride ourselves on being a league of merit? To the National Football League, I'm not talking about Roger Goodell in the league office, to the owners. Do you have any idea how bad you look? You understand that you've given credence to arguments against you involving collusion and stuff like that, more so than ever before? Do you realize what you've done? Because his talent is not a 5th round talent. There's absolutely positively no excuse for waiting until the 5th round to take a quarterback who could play better than most quarterbacks available in the draft, with the number of teams needing a quarterback. Y'all did this. And I just think it's sad that it happened. Mm-hmm. Shiloh and Shadeur were dancing after he got picked by the Browns. That was a good video to see. Go to Twitter to check out their draft celebration dance. All of that's good. And I'm glad that it hasn't shattered his spirits. And to be quite honest with you, Shedeur Sanders should be able to go into Cleveland. I mean, there's Joe Flacco there and Kenny Pickett. I think that's a job you could potentially win. But my Lord, for him to have to go through that is so wrong. And I know it's not just the owners, it's team executives, and they're micromanaging every little thing and looking at your attitude. It can't be about you. It can't be about team. How about it being about production? Period. How about that? How about it being about a brother that knows he can play, that knows he comes from a pristine pedigree? And me personally, no matter what folks want to say about Shedeur Sanders, you're hearing noise about him having taken out some loan, assuming he was going to be drafted in the 1st round and anticipating and already counting his money and stuff like that. I'm not judging this kid like that. I don't know if that's true or not, first of all. And secondly, even if it was, so what? He's a kid. He's a young adult. Chill out. What really bothers me is that I think a lot of this was because of Deion Sanders. I think a lot of this was about a message to his father. I think a lot of this was about, hey, you'll never run this. This is us. We ain't even hire you as a coach in the National Football League. What makes you think you're gonna have that kind of say? Oh, by the way, we draft your son, and then all of a sudden we gonna hear noise turning around on how you want to coach the team eventually. We don't need that kind of problem. Yeah, that's one of the things that people could point to. Let me tell y'all what I think the other is. A complete and utter lack of appreciation for what primetime Deion Sanders has done for the game of football. Primetime Deion Sanders had more swag, more bravado than anybody you could ever imagine. What else he do? All the brother did was go out there and perform at a very, very elite level, bring pizzazz and sizzle to your product, helping it grow into this multi-billion-dollar brand.
That's right.
Has a great relationship with the commissioner, has a great relationship with a bevy of players and coaches in the National Football League, knows the sport backwards and forwards. And because of his swag and his bravado or whatever, y'all gonna turn against him. How about y'all should have drafted Shedeur Sanders earlier because of that alone? I'm not talking about at the expense of his skill. I know he's got to have skill. That's not what I mean. I'm saying rather than look at all of those things as a negative, how about looking at it as a positive? Period. You got a primetime Deion Sanders. His son is going to be motivated to perform at a higher level. he is all about performing at a higher level. He would be in his son's ear, imploring him to listen to his coaches, imploring him to play better, imploring him to be dedicated and focused and on point. Did you ever think about that? Of course not. Because, ladies and gentlemen, as times change, they remain the same. Young kid, privileged to be raised by a father who's universally recognized one of the greatest athletes the world has ever seen, and a champion, by the way. He's still black.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
We don't like his brashness. We don't like his absence of humility. We got to teach him a lesson, because we got to make sure he understands under all circumstances, we still run this. We're the bosses, and we can put our foot on your neck any damn time we want to. That's what happened to Shedeur Sanders and Deion Sanders over the last few days, spanning 5 rounds and 143 picks. That's what happened. This is some bullshit. And I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to say that while in the same breath conceding and acknowledging that Shedeur Sanders is not blameless here. Primetime Deion Sanders is not blameless here. I'm going to say what I have to say, knowing that both of them have their hands at least a little bit dirty in all of this. But if you're the National Football League, okay, clearly it's not about talent anymore. It's about something else.
Clearly.
And I'm going to tell you, I spent a large amount of the last 24 hours thinking about nothing more than I was thinking about collusion. Because how in the hell does 32 teams in the National Football League pass on a quarterback that...
Y'all heard him, baby. Listen, I ain't got nothing negative to say about what Stephen Smith just said. When I tell you he said it all, I was shocked that they waited that long to call this boy and draft. I was very shocked, because he is very good. He and Shiloh. Shadeur and Shiloh should have been first round pick. But when you have a father like Deion Sanders and they're trying to send a message through their father to get to you, that's exactly how they're going to treat you. Okay. They were trying to humble those boys, and they were trying to humble their father as well. And it's unfortunate that they had to catch a stray in all of this mess. And then let's not even forget about the bullying where they were calling Shadeur, not even sure where they got his damn number from his private number. Like all of those things. I just feel like that was just it was a mess. It was a mess. It was embarrassing. I have no words. I'm happy that they're signed, and I'm happy that they're on the team. But now the question is, are they going to still try to make an example out of them by not playing them like they should now that they're on the team? Are they going to try to bench them, or are they going to put them out there and let them play? Because those boys deserve to play. That's all they know. Since they were young kids, they were trained by their fathers to be the best, just like he was. Deion was hell on the field. Deion was hell on the field, and he's passed that same mantra down to his boys, and they're going to get out there and do the damn thing if they're allowed to. If they're not going to be, on a team where the coach is going to, try to take out his frustrations and his anger out on them through their father. But I'm happy that they're actually on the team. Shout out to Stephen Smith, because like I said, I don't really fool with him like that. But in this right here, I had to play it because every single thing he said, I agree with. Okay, we're gonna move on, child. I'm gonna sit back and be watching this like everybody else. All right. I think they could have signed him to a better team than the Buccaneers, but hell, he's on there because he can always get traded. That's the good thing about it. He can always be traded. But let's move on. Let's move on, child. Let's move on. All right. TD Jakes, child. TD Jakes has officially stepped down. Y'all know he temporarily stepped down to allow his daughter to step up and pastor in his absence or whatever. So now he has officially stood up and stepped down, said that Bishop TD Jakes is stepping down as the senior pastor of the Potter's House. So he's sending congratulations to Pastor Sarah Jakes, that's his daughter, and Touré Roberts. All right. So let's go ahead and get into what he had to say, child.
One man plants, another man waters, but only God gives the increase. I came to plant. I think I planted pretty good. But I wanted to introduce to you your pastors. also know that if God is for you, who can be against you?
You had a heart attack on stage and still asked for the microphone so that they would be okay over you. I know what this cost. And if I'm honest, I've been wondering whether or not I have what it takes to do it the way that you guys have done it or to take it even further. But then God showed me that you all didn't always know if you had what it took either. And what you have placed in the earth will not fail. Thank you for letting us build this on your shoulders. I'm so happy you wrote this service.
One man plants, another man waters, but only God gives the increase. I came to plant. I think I planted pretty good. But I wanted to introduce to you.
By correction, Shedeur Sanders was y'all know when I get upset and get excited when I'm talking, sometimes I'll misspeak. Let me correct myself, okay? Because y'all know I know what I'm talking about. Shedeur Sanders was signed by the Cleveland Browns, okay, not the Buccaneers. Shiloh was signed by the Bucs. And Shedeur was signed by the Cleveland Browns. All right, let me make that correction so nobody don't be looking like what had happened when that changed.
Your pastors.
All right, so let's go ahead and read. It said that the shift is here and the oil is child. Said that your yes bishop has birthed a movement, said broken chains and elevated generations. Of course, said that the mantle is past, the mission continues, and the future is greater. So celebrate this powerful kingdom movement. Drop a fire emoji in the comments if you're ready for revival, child. So he's passed the mantle to Sarah Jakes Roberts and to Ray Roberts, okay, her and her husband, as the new senior pastors of the Potter House in Dallas. All right. So for those of you that care, that's what had happened. All right, moving on. That's all I care about that, child. All right, next topic, child. Now, if you, let's get that up. All right, so if you, child, lived in the in this area, let's go ahead and read it. All right. If you live in the Chicago area and the Brinks truck came through your neighborhood and you picked up some of that money, you might want to be quiet and sit your ass down somewhere because somebody might be going to jail. All right, so $300,000 fell off of a Brinks truck in Chicago and 100 people ran up to collect it. All right. Now, a lot of people saying the money was marked. And I'm hearing, and I actually talked to someone who worked for Brinks. They said that the money is not marked. The only time that they mark it is if there's some type of investigation and they're using said money in order to get somebody, like, you know, just cover a bust or something like that is when they mark the money. Brinks truck money is, from what I hear and what I'm told by someone who worked for Brinks, that money is not marked. So whoever, and this was cash that flew out of the back of the truck, Brinks truck that was driving on the road, and something happened with the back door and bags of money fell out, and they're saying up to 100 people ran up to retrieve said money. So let's get it. It says that according to NBC News, bags of cash fell out of a Brinks home security company truck last week in a Chicago suburb, resulting in approximately $300,000 being stolen. A complaint filed to police says. It said that Brinks noted that upon returning to the area, between 50 and 100 people were seen taking money and fleeing. It said that the total estimated amount was approximately $300,000. No arrests have been made yet. So they don't even know who, I guess, these people, or they might, because, you know, if it's on a busy street where there are businesses, they could look at camera footage, you know, and see who these people are, see if they can identify them. That's a lot of money. I'm pretty sure that it is insured, but they're going to want to know who these people are that came out to take said money, because it's not your money. And if you see it flying off the Brinks truck, it's not for you to go and take it. Okay. It's just like if the bank makes a mistake and accidentally deposit some money into your account. You can't go and just pull that money and go spend it or move it or spend it, whatever the case may be with it. If it's not your money, you should not do that, because they will still try to press charges on you for said money. All right. Because we've heard a whole lot about, you know, people doing that in terms of the bank making a mistake, and then you go and take that money out and spend it or transfer it or whatever you do with it, and you're not supposed to, versus bringing it to their attention. But in this situation here, they're going to be looking for up to 50 or 100 people to probably interview or maybe arrest them for this money, because they're going to see it as theft. What y'all think about this? What y'all think about this? There are a lot of people saying, you better not go and deposit none of that money. Okay, that's what they were saying. They say, hey, you better not go deposit none of that money that you grabbed up out there. Okay, All right. Yeah, what y'all think about that? What y'all think about that? If y'all see a Brinks truck coming down your highway over there where you stay, and all this money, $300,000 fall off the truck, you gonna retrieve that money or you gonna leave it alone? Put a 1 if you're gonna get the money, put a 2 if you're gonna leave it alone. Let's see. Not to put nobody on the spot. If you see a Brinks truck coming through your through your neighborhood and $300,000 or more fall off that truck, are you going to 1, grab or retrieve some of that money? 2, you gonna leave it alone and take your tail home? I see some ones. Hey, do what you do. They said mine would have been gone the same day, spent not marked. Yeah, they better not deposit that money in there, because you know that sometimes the bank's child, they do be putting some stuff on that money to where they can identify those bills. So I wouldn't be doing that. It'd be like, okay, yeah, come on, let me see you back here in the back office, and then have police wait back there for you. Somebody put a bunch of ones. They said I'm on probation with the Lord. Not with the Lord, girl. Somebody said I'm not going to jail. I know that's right. That's federal. Y'all know that fair time started 10 years. You better think about it. All right, it sounds good right now, but when you think about it, that fair time started at 10 years. All right. They said that IRS and banks monitor up to 9,000. Say anything over 10,000, they be asking questions. Okay, yeah, but they got, it's insured, but still. They're going to find, trust me, they're going to find out where that money went and who took it. They're going to look at surveillance cameras from businesses around there where that truck was. Yeah, they're going to look, and they going to, yes, when you see your face coming up on the news and say, hey, do you recognize this person? And they're going to give some reward money behind it. Please understand, people, when you hear reward money, especially black people, they're going to go get their reward money. They're going to turn you in, and you're going to be sitting up in jail, child. And please, I hope nobody don't go and just start making deposits to their account. That's going to be stupid. That's going to be stupid. Somebody said 2, don't want those products. Okay. Right. Every time you see a police officer, you flinch up and tense up like, oh my God, they're coming to get me. So that they have cameras. Right. And then I think they have cameras too on that truck. So I wouldn't fool with it. I'm sorry. It's going to be a 2 for me. I'm going to say 2. I ain't going to fool with it. Okay. Because I'm too cute. I ain't trying to be in jail. Okay. Somebody said, someone please call 911. Right. Yeah, it's going to be a no for me, sir. Okay. Put me down for no on that one. All right. I'm sorry the money fell out. All right. Was that my last topic? I think that was my. Oh, no. All right. So from what I'm hearing, let me go ahead and put this update. We got a quick update for the BT case. All right. Y'all know who BT is, right? BT, aka Black Titanic. All right, so from what I'm hearing, they're saying that BT and her lawyers are asking to stop production on Love and Marriage Huntsville until $5 million is deposited into her bank account, okay, and to keep Maurice from being able to use their, I guess, lawsuit or the lawsuit that he's involved in as part of a storyline for him for this coming season. Y'all know that they're said to be done filming, and y'all know this lawsuit's been going on for quite some time. But I'm hearing that some type of new motion was filed on the 25th of April, where they're saying that it's a 4th amended cross complaint against OWN. With BT's first request for production of documents to win. They're also saying that the plaintiff Maurice Scott, of course, has to answer and have affirmative defenses as to the defendant of course, BT, and amended counterclaim. So that's what they're asking. They are asking, okay, that the term that the lawyers or whatever go ahead, I guess, and rule on this. And they're saying that BT and her attorneys are asking for Love and Marriage Huntsville production to be stopped, and so that they're not able to use Black Titanic or BT's case as a part of his storyline to be able to profit from that, and that $5 million be paid to her and or put into her account, child. Okay, so that's what they're saying. All right, that's what's been said. All right, to keep Maurice from being able to use this case as a storyline. So that's the update on that. And am I going to read any documents? I will not. So that's the update. It's a hit and quit. Okay. It's a hit and quit. Right. That's it. And that's all. All right. But that amended, that complaint was filed on the 25th of April. Okay. And so that's what they're asking. Okay. But that's it. That is it. And of course, you guys know, and I told you guys in my other video, y'all know that not Black Titanic, but Funky Dineva is in Huntsville this weekend, so they're doing another Down to the Bar. Same thing they were doing when Maurice got his DUI last year. So Why am I still talking about Black Titanic? Funky Dineva is back in Huntsville for another Down to the Bar little party, little situation down there at Black. So hopefully don't nobody get no other DUIs down there drinking, because I know Funky Dineva was telling them, come on down and let's drink. It's gonna be free to get in. They're not gonna charge this time, so they're gonna probably have more people since it's free. But they supposed to have like a big shindig down there at Black, child, and telling people to come down there and party and drink. So hopefully Maurice definitely be careful this time and don't get up there and get to drinking too much and staying out till 5, 6, 7, 8 o'clock in the morning while Kimmy is home in the bed waiting on him to get home. All right, but that's our video. All right, that is our video. Yeah, I saw where Wanda posted live, honey, but we can't talk about it, nor can we share it because it's a lot of music on there. She is out there at some mall trying to sell her potatoes. I saw and with a few other food trucks out there in the parking lot at the mall down there in Huntsville, child. So they are trying to get something done down there. So Wanda's trying to sell her potatoes, and she's still calling it the polar sausages. Okay, I saw it on the video. I already saw it, child. She said, come on down here and get your polar sausages and your potatoes, child. All right. So I already went to the farmer's market, and it already confirmed that there's no such thing as polar sausages. I showed y'all the video, and that's all I got for you. Okay. Do I still have it? Let me see. Y'all know I'm so petty. Why am I so petty? Why am I so petty? Let's see. Is that it? Let me see. Polar?
No, it might be on the.
Is that a such thing? Is Polish, right?
Yeah, Polish.
Polish, because I heard somebody say it was polar. I never heard of polar.
I know that, but we don't have it right here.
Okay,
Maybe
so there's no polar. It's Polish sauce.
Polish. Yeah,
right.
I know Polish.
I'm so petty. I told y'all, I played this for y'all the other day. I told y'all whenever I heard them, when I saw them put it. Oh, let me put the thing back up. Because while I'm being petty here, let me go ahead and put the flyer up that what's the name made about them polar sausages. I said, I know you lying. Here you go. Here you go. Where all right, so I think this is what Tisha was promoting. Okay, Tisha promoted it. She made a flyer. She said, come support we, not us, child, at B&J Event Center pop-up on 19th Street, Bessemer. Okay, it says, take me back, Bessemer polar sausages, loaded nachos, and Miss Wanda's famous potatoes. Okay, so let me get off here. I am so damn petty, y'all. So yeah, girl, come support we. All right, thank you guys for coming on my channel and supporting we. All right, thank y'all for coming on Kara Marrell's channel and supporting we. Not me, but we. And thank y'all so much for going out there and getting y'all, because the weather's supposed to be nice. Going to throw y'all some of them polar sausages, child. That's polar bear meat ground down, child, and made into sausages on the grill up over there. Okay, and y'all enjoy your good old weekend. All right, yeah. So come support we, not me. And y'all have a good old day. All right. So thank y'all so much for supporting. Thank you, Bill Wilson, Tower, Scorpion, Miss KBR, Rose Armstead, Truth TV Podcast, child. I'm trying to stop laughing. Thank you, Schoolboy, for coming over Sunny Days. Thank you for being here. All right. Who else did I see up in here? Girl, what's the tea? Thanks for being here. All right. Anybody else? Moz, please let me know if we have any other content creators. Thank you to our new people that came over as well. We had some new subscribers. Thank y'all for coming over. All right. I appreciate y'all so much. Let's get out of here, child. I'm going to try to hit y'all maybe one more time because there's so much going on. Thank you so much, Q. Love you right back. Q said, love you, Caramel. Love you right back. Y'all know I love all of you guys. Love y'all down. Says the Caramel, I told you I was going to ban myself from this channel because you are back. Am I? Love. I am not. I had to do my own research to go and see if polar sausage was a real thing. So now that I know that it's not, according to the man back there behind the counter. Now that I know that it's not, I can stop worrying myself about this. Because I was like, I've been on this earth for 40 some odd years, and I didn't know that polar sausages was a thing. And it's really not. So I was worrying for nothing. But anyway, thank y'all for supporting we. Let's get out of here, child. All right. Oh my God. Love you guys down. Please don't forget to like the video, share the video, and subscribe to the channel if you've not done so. Okay. Shout out to everybody in the chat and all of that. All right. Bye.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway, and in the driveway.